Lemon Techno.
Hello and welcome to this week's Top Hacker News articles. In this week's Top 3, we have a website that dives into how airplanes fly and stay airborne, a thread about a hefty Netlify bill which eventually got scrapped, and an article on the Shirky Principle. Let's dive in. The first article is titled Airfoil by Bartosz Czechanovsky, and the article tackles the difficult topic of how airplanes fly, what keeps them airborne, and how speed and orientation and wind affect flight. It touches complex concepts such as fluid dynamics, turbulence, chaotic systems, airflow, and drag. About a third into the article, the main protagonist is introduced, the airfoil, the shape of the cross-section of the wing, which plays a crucial part in lift and keeping airplanes afloat. The site does a great job at breaking down complicated problems into more digestible parts, providing great interactive visual diagrams and illustrations. The top comment from Porfira mentions that many airfoils were created by the NACA in the 1920s and 30s and questions if modern computer software could design better ones, but apparently most shapes have already been perfected by hand and by experiment. Yet the replies actually state that it's not quite true due to the complexity of modern airplanes. I'm going to give this article a score of 10 as it is an impressive yet digestible read full of interesting concepts and interactive components. The second post is titled Netlify just sent me a $104,000 bill for a simple static site by Liubang Haodai 24 on Reddit. It starts off by stating they got an email from Netlify with the amount overdue. They then contacted support assuming it was a DDoS attack, which it was confirmed to be, and they offered to discount it to 5%, which still amounted to $5,000. In the replies, people suggested posting it on Hacker News, which is why we're talking about it today. And the funny thing is, as you would expect from something like this, the Netlify CEO replied that they reached out to the user and let them know that they are not getting charged for this, which is, such relieving news. Subsequent comments question how this could happen in the first place and also why it is not sufficiently clear in the pricing page how this can happen and how starter plans can even incur costs at all. I'm going to give this post a 6 as it is a sucky situation. I've heard so many cases of very similar situations with AWS and GCP over the years. Fortunately, most unexpected cost spikes can be resolved with a chat with support, but the jump scare can really take a toll on you. The third article is titled The Shirky Principle, Institutions Try to Preserve the Problem to Which They Are the Solution by Itamar Schatz on Effectiviology. In a nutshell, it states the observation that a lot of companies that provide a solution to a problem will actively try to keep the problem alive, basically to keep the problem a problem as their business depends on it. For example, employees might attempt to resist efforts to automate processes that would put their job in jeopardy. Another example is a case where British colonial officials in Delhi set a bounty on dead cobras to reduce the cobra population, which kind of backfired, leading citizens to breed cobras for profit. The top comment by Alok G mentions a story of a physicist friend who encountered this not only in the corporate world but also as a physics teacher. I'm giving this article a 9 because it is well written, provides a bunch of examples, and was an interesting read. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's Top Hacker News. Please leave a comment below if you'd like to discuss any of the articles further. You can check out the links to the Hacker News discussion in the description, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date. See you next week.